Yo guys, what is going on? JPS back for another video, and today we're going to be reacting to something completely different than what I normally watch. We're going to be reacting to something that's happening currently in Britain, and it is needle spiking in nightclubs. This video was posted 3 days ago, and yeah, it's titled "New Scare in Britain, Spiking Women with Needles." So I got this idea actually from my mother. My mother sent me an article through text. It was actually in the United States. I think it was either Washington Post or New York Times, something like that. I don't even remember. Just some article, and it was about needle spiking in nightclubs. And she knows about my YouTube channel. She knows I react to things in the United Kingdom. So she sent me that, and she was like, interesting, you should put this on your channel or talk about it. And I kind of just ignored it for a couple days. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, wait, needle spiking in nightclubs? Isn't that a little weird? Like needles, you don't know where they've been. They could have been used multiple times. Like, this isn't just like putting something in someone's drink. Like, this is a whole different ball game. So I just searched it up on YouTube, and this is the first thing that showed up. So yeah, we're gonna watch it, and let's get right into it.
I want you to imagine a very specific scenario. The weekend is coming up. You and your friends decide to hit the nightclub. You get there, you have a nice time. Next thing you know, you wake up in your bed. How did you get there? What happened last night? You have absolutely no recollection. All you feel is a searing pain in your body. I know it sounds horrifying. Now, what if I told you that this is not some made-up scenario? It is happening to multiple women in...
Whoa! 2,600? All right, I'm sorry for pausing. Let's watch it.
To multiple women in Britain. More than a dozen cases have been reported. All of them follow the same pattern. They remember entering a nightclub, but nothing after that. The next day they wake up in bed with horrible body pain. What's happening here? Most of the victims think that they were spiked with a needle. Let me tell you how one of them described it. The next morning, I felt my leg and examined it to a further extent. I touched the part where I was in most pain, and I found a pinprick. I had been spiked. I have another account for you. This is what it says. The injection left me unable to walk without the help of someone else, and I could barely string a sentence together. God. Thankfully, I was not alone and had a friend with me. What do you make of this? What are the experts saying? Well, they're as confused as the victims. Some of them have dismissed the needle theory. Their argument is this: it's hard to plunge a needle into someone in a crowded club. For starters, they would feel pain, they would probably scream. Plus, the injection would have to be precise. Also, what drug would effectively wipe out your memory? Well, we can think of some. Doctors say ketamine or benzo are the likely candidates. But these drugs need large syringes, not the kind that you could sneak into a nightclub. So is this mass hysteria? Here's what one medical expert says, and I'll quote again: it's entirely possible that this is some stupid fad of sticking needles into people, but the association between sticking needles into people and people being intoxicated and collapsing seems far-fetched at the moment. Well, here's a theory. Maybe the two things are unrelated. Maybe they were dealing with two separate problems: drink spiking and the worrying needle business. We're going to let the police investigate that. Members of Parliament have raised this. The Nottinghamshire Police Department has recorded 44 cases of spiking since September. 44.
In a month?
12 of them involve needles.
That's every day.
The timing is also important. Remember, clubs in Britain have just started reopening after lockdowns. People have missed the nightlife. Reports like these could keep them away. In fact, it's already happening. Students from 30 British universities are boycotting nightclubs. What do they want? They want safety for women, as simple as that. We don't know if the victims were spiked with needles. We don't know how they got those pinpricks. But here's what we do know. Drink spiking is a major problem in nightclubs. In Britain, there have been more than 2,600 cases since 2015. And remember, these are the reported ones. One survey found that 16% of the women respondents had been spiked. Many of the incidents actually go unreported. And you can blame the cops for that. The police do not take drink spiking seriously. They often blame the victim for not being too careful or for drinking too much. But this is not casual fun. This is evil and abusive. In most cases, drink spiking leads to sexual assault. It's called date rape. So we need government help to tackle this problem. Like I said, members of parliament have raised this. The United Kingdom Home Secretary has called for a special report on the needle spikes. And that's a good start. But there's a long way to go. Nightclubs will need better security. You shouldn't be able to take a syringe inside a club, for starters. Police officers are going to need more training. Their in-your-face attitude is stopping victims from coming out. And until these changes happen, here's what you can do. Try to buy your own drinks. Don't accept drinks from strangers. Try not to leave your drink unattended. And if you feel extra tipsy or woozy, call a friend or your family. WION is now available in your country.
That was actually pretty good. Wow. This is crazy. The thing I'm most curious about, so obviously everyone knows about drink spiking. You know, one of the cardinal rules of drinking is always hold your drink in your hand. Never put your drink down, especially as a woman. You know, especially as a female. Like, you are the target for that stuff. And it's terrible, but it's the truth. You really cannot leave your drink unattended, especially in a public place, and it's crowded, and it's hard to keep track of where everyone is and your surroundings, and maybe you're already a little buzzed or tipsy. But the thing about the needle spiking is, I agree with what the news reporter said. Those drugs she was, that were the possible drugs that you're using to spike are like, you need a big syringe. Like she said it herself, like you need a big syringe to bring in there. And it's, I don't know, it just seems like, wouldn't someone notice, like someone gets down and like does that on your leg? Like if everyone is around, like wouldn't, I don't know. It's I'm not saying it's a lie, like, and I'm definitely not victim blaming. You know, that's BS that the police are saying, oh, it's the victim's fault. They're not being careful enough or something. I mean, you're at a nightclub. You shouldn't have to worry about those things in the first place. It's terrible that those things even exist as possibilities. But that does seem a little crazy. Like, how could someone, I don't know, I guess people are trained and fast at, injecting things. But yeah, that is super scary. Imagine you go out to the club and you remember just until you walk in, and then after that, everything's a blur. Oh, and that's even weirder is that they wake up in their own bed. Maybe that the person like kidnapped them, took their info, found out where they lived. I don't know, honestly. Who knows? That is scary. Wow. When you think about all the possibilities that could happen when you're unconscious and like not in the hands of someone you know, and you're in the hands of someone evil, if they would do something like that. Whew. Sheesh. Let me know if you have heard about this. It seems like it's making its way around the news. Like I said, I told you how I had found out about it. It's on the news here in America, so I'm presuming it's definitely widespread. It seems like there was also some students at universities boycotting it, or boycotting nightclubs. Good for them, I guess, but hopefully there's some action taken. Like the news reporter said, it's going through Parliament, but I don't know how effective that will be. That's just crazy. I've never heard of something like that. Needle spiking. All right, well, if you are going out to the nightclubs, make sure you be careful. All my subscribers, stay safe, especially the female viewers. Make sure you stay safe. Always bring friends out, and make sure you are very aware of your surroundings, because 45 cases in the past month, that's over every day since September, so every night that's happening. That is crazy. All right, well, that's all I gotta say. Stay safe out there. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.